How many of you think that they're any closer to peace in the Middle East today than they were 6 months ago? Raise your hands. We have one optimist here. That's awesome. Jens, that's great. I don't share that idea, right? When I toured the Holy Land in 1986, I got a better understanding of the problem over there. And it's a very small chunk of land, Israel is, right? And some say the Israelis took the land from the Palestinians, which is probably true. And the Israelis justify it by saying, well, the Palestinians took it from us to begin with. We're just taking it back. So there has been this conflict over land. But more than that, it is a conflict of religions. And each religion has some vindictiveness, retribution at the very core of the religion. An eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth, right? That's in our Bible. An eye for an eye. If somebody pokes you in the eye or plucks your eye out, you have the right to do the same to them. And in the Quran, it's death to the infidels, death to the unbelievers. And you get these two core beliefs trying to come together, to live together. It becomes nearly impossible. Christianity is supposed to be different. The crux of Christianity was in the gospel reading that we just read today. And it's one of the most difficult and challenging passages there. And most Christians just kind of sweep that away and believe that it's hyperbole. He didn't really mean it. Love your enemies. Are you serious? Love my enemies? Love the people who have killed my people? Love the person who has killed my child? Very difficult for us to understand. Very difficult for us to put into practice. But this is the reason that there are so many problems in the world, and I can start listing the problems, right? From the Ukraine to Palestine, to the whole Middle East, Shiite and Sunni, and the Muslims and the Hindus in India, and how they are fighting and warring against each other. And down the list goes on. And basically it's this: we cannot forgive those who have hurt us. The biggest question is, who is our enemy? Right? Who is our enemy? Who is the person that we are most afraid of, so angry with, and so badly want to get revenge on? Is it the Americans? Right? This whole thing is getting way blown out of proportion, right? Now they're booing our national anthem. Can you imagine that?
That's okay, we beat.
Yeah. At least we won. They didn't boo it the second time they sang it because there were no Americans there in the building. Anyway, let's not talk about that, okay? Who is our enemy? Right? And this is the question: are Americans becoming our enemy? The people that we were closest to in the world? Right? And I'm torn right in half. Half of me is American and the other half is Canadian. I'm not sure which half. Can you tell? Right? It tears us apart, but we're angry. That's what the booing is on. We're angry because we feel threatened. When somebody threatens us, when they threaten our safety, when they threaten our well-being, they can easily become our enemy. And when this goes on for generation after generation, when hatred and fear is taught in the schools, when you hear it at church, when you hear it from your parents, it becomes embedded. It's embedded in your core to hate another person. Because of their religion, because of the color of their skin, because whatever their ethnic background might be, we have been taught to hate. And that is at the core of our being. And Jesus came along and he saw the situation that the world was in, and he saw the direction that it was going, and he said, it's time to stop. It's time to stop what we're doing. Stop hating the people that you're afraid of, and love your enemies. And pray for those who persecute you. Pray for those who make your life difficult. Family members. First reading. Did you remember the first reading? Joseph and his brothers. And Joseph forgave his brothers. Right? You can imagine how big this family was. And that, 12 brothers? 12 brothers in that family. Didn't count the sisters. But how large that family was. And if Joseph had not forgiven his brothers, that family would have been split for the rest of mankind. Joseph forgave his brothers for selling him. Right? Selling him off to traders to work as a slave. To be separated from his family, from a father who loved him so dearly. And Joseph forgave them. And that's what healed his family. Love your enemies. That's hard to do, but even harder, I think, is to praying for those who persecute you. Pray for those who have made your life miserable, who you feel threatened by, or who your children feel threatened by. Right? The angriest I see people, the most frustrated I see people, is when they are dealing with an ex. Right? Ex-son-in-law, ex-daughter-in-law, ex-husband. This is where it hits home. And there's so much hurt and pain and anger built into us, we wish them nothing but the worst. When I suggest, can you pray for that person? I pray for them every day, that God would strike them down. That's not what God is talking about. Pray. Pray that whatever is between the two of us, God will somehow heal that which is between us. God will open our eyes and help us to see people in a different light and to understand why they are the way they are, why they do the things that they do. And when we can see, when we can understand, we can find compassion, we can pray for them and ask that God would bless their lives. And when we do that, it doesn't empower them as much as it empowers you and changes your life. This is how we change the world. Not by killing more people, not by booing more people, by understanding, finding compassion and love. Amen.
Oh
hands to the back of our celebrate sheets for the prayers, and we'll give you an opportunity to name out loud those you would like us to pray. Let us extend our hands to one another and bless the Lord.